This movie wrecked me in a good way. It is a masterpiece, and it's simple. You're getting a normal coming of age plot, but the elements that are at work within it and the underlying thematic material make this movie absolutely incredible. Even just the title being Coda, which is a musical reference, has to do with the ending of a piece of music, but also it's child of deaf parents. And that's just beautiful writing, man. Simple, multi-layered, love it. It doesn't happen very often that a movie changes of my worldview, but I have come to realize through seeing this film that I place a wall of disability in front of people. And I don't like that I'm realizing that from this particular experience. But what I am happy about is that I know I can change it. And seeing people for people instead of seeing people for their disability is something I will not forget and something that I'm going to strive to push through, because this movie showed me what the level of, what is that called? Depth of loss from the fact that your body just won't do what it's supposed to do, but doesn't change anything about your human existence or experience. And that's really powerful. When they dropped the floor of the sound design out from underneath me in that concert, I had already been mentally prepared that they weren't getting to experience her singing. And the movie is played out because they can't hear her, and that's fine. But when they shift the perspective to her father and the sound design goes completely away to silence, a very, very deep place in me was affected, because I have a personal love for music, and for that to be taken away from someone is extremely sad to me because of how much I personally get from it. And if I were to lose that, how sad I would be from that loss. But even for somebody that was born with it, and the realization that they just can't experience something that their daughter loves is very, very powerful. I think that the follow through on how he engages with her after the concert, how she eventually signs while she's singing for them at the end, and how they just do the normal family thing of supporting and empowering their child to go off and do this new thing. While it seems simple in plot and has been done time and time again in the movie space, it has so much more weight because it's saying, well, for me personally, it's saying I was seeing them for their disability and not for their humanity. And I think that underlying that is my self-love, or my love for music within myself, that is an identifying factor across both of these things, right? The disability of not being able to enjoy it and the desire of someone wanting to engage with it. And then the last thing that I thought was beautiful about this film was the teaching on display by Bernardo, and how real it was and how good it was. Teaching itself as an art, and to see somebody portrayed as doing it well who also has his own life, and which, by the way, I'm kind of interested that they went a little bit flamboyant with him, but he wasn't gay at all, which I find very intriguing. Not a lot of movies do that nowadays, where they give you a multi-layered character that you might think a movie would push on you, but it doesn't. He's just a real person that seems to have, some effeminate qualities and a lot of masculine qualities that balance, because he's a whole person and not a caricature for some agenda. But the teaching aspect of what he accomplished is what's so amazing about it. And I think that there's very few movies that really display that teaching well. Even movies that you think about music teaching, a lot of times they miss the mark. And I feel like this one didn't. I feel like this one really found a line between passion and purpose and intentionality of, hey, I'm gonna push you because I think you can. And eventually it's successful, and she executes because of his support, even down to the last minute where he plays piano for her and saves her from a bad audition. So yeah, I definitely found a depth in this film I was not expecting. I'm glad that it won Best Picture in 2022, I guess, for 2021. And I think that there is a place in the pantheon for this movie. I'm gonna make it one of my best movies of the last 5 years, and it's totally worth the watch. So what did you guys think? Think I'm totally off here? Do you think if you don't identify with it musically, or if you don't identify with my problems of perception of the world, was it as good as I think it was? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.